my favorite. I played it on my podcast. For some reason, Daydreaming on the Nigeria just gets to me.
Oh, thank you. That's a big compliment. Thank you so much. I wrote that. That was actually based off of two things. I had just come back from a trip to South Africa when I wrote that tune, and just seeing not only how beautiful it is there, but also seeing still, and that was not too long after apartheid had ended, and just seeing, you know, the two sides, how very wealthy some people were, but how incredibly poor and a lot of other people were, and seeing children that didn't have shoes to go to school, or didn't have books or pencils or paper things we just really take for granted so many times. So it was that, and then based on a poem that a child had written. Here I worked with some students, and they wrote poetry, and I had to write a song based off of what I felt. And so that poem reminded me of my trip, and I just, the two together, I came up with Daydreaming on the Niger.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
Number 10, you are Nani, God Be With You.
Oh, Juru Nani, yes. Juru Nani, I heard this tune, and I just love the tune. It's just got a feeling. It put me in the head. It reminded me, I was in Israel once, and I rode on a camel. And it's just that feeling of riding that animal, and just the rhythm of it, and it's very hypnotic. And this tune, Juru Nani, was very hypnotic and very funky at the same time. But as I was listening to it, for some reason I kept hearing God Be With You, the hymn, God Be With You Till We Meet Again. And so I called up a friend of mine, Xavier Davis, who's a great pianist and composer, and I said, Xavier, I asked him to do this arrangement, in fact. And I said, you know, I don't even know if it'll work, but I pay attention. When I get signs like that or things come up, I think they're notes from the universe. So I said, can you put these two together and see what happens? And I thought he did a great job. It's one of my other favorite tunes on the record.
Number 11, Kainu.
Mm-hmm. That's by guitarist and singer Boubacar Touré, and they call him the blues man of Mali. And when you hear his stuff, you really hear why. But this tune originally was an Indian tune. In the story, it's a man who's in love with a woman, and she's not in love with him. And he says to her, even if I were to change myself into diamonds or gold, you still wouldn't love me. So the tune is based off of that story. But he's got such an amazing, Boubacar's got such an amazing voice, very raw kind of voice, but his music, it just like puts me in the mind of maybe a James Brown, or you know, it's very, very, very infectious.
All right. Then the last one, Moana Tili Tambula.
Oh, yeah, very close. Imwana Talitambula.
All right.
Trust me, it took me months, so I convinced you that these names. That's also from the Ugandan Jews, and that was a field recording. I heard of a woman standing and singing, and her voice just really captivated me, and I was like, who is this? What is this? And reading about it, heard it means the child will never walk. And again, I thought, man, what a sad sentiment. But it's another life lesson. It's no to women. If you have work to do and your child won't walk, you just pick him up and strap him onto your back, and then you get your work done. So simple as that.
All right. All right. So there we have it. Reverse thread. Explained to you, so you'll know what you're listening to, and it's really, believe me, it's a really an enjoyable album. You were talking about, you said something a few minutes ago about, well, I knew it had to do with the field recordings, your resource material, and I know that you went to the World Music Institute in New York City.
Right.
Ethnographic field recordings. How did you find those?
Well, actually, those were at the World Music Institute as well. And then I had some videos from a friend that sent me some videos from living in Africa. So they sent me some videos of some actual footage of field recordings. But the two tunes that I recorded, Hilwombe Awamba and Imwana Tali Tambula, I found at the World Music Institute. and there's just so much music there from around the world, and they were gracious enough to just let me come in and do some of my research there.
You've had the opportunity to play with, you're very diverse, I just have to put it like that. You're with Aretha Franklin and Kenneth Barron, who I love,
Yeah.
and Mary J. Blige. Wow. You enjoy taking off on these different escapades?
I do, because it's all very challenging, and it's fun. It's all music that I love. I'm a huge Mary J. Blige, first of all, so I love her. So it was just a blast to be able to record those tunes. I've done stuff with Lauryn Hill and done stuff with Aretha Franklin, and then like you said, Kenny Barron, who's my mentor, and the late great bassist Ray Brown.
Mm-hmm.
So all of those are I take them on as challenges. And really try and get myself inside that music when I'm taking that on. But I feel like it keeps my music and my playing fresh. And jazz musicians from the beginning of time have always traveled to other countries and cultures and included sounds that they've heard in the music. So I feel it's a natural extension.